Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, committee. For the record, my name is Representative David Love. I represent Derry, and I don't want it to be misconstrued in any shape, way, or form that I'm against kids being safe. This bill here will do just the opposite, though. Let's talk about human nature and criminal human nature. Fact is, they don't give a damn about laws. You can pass laws this high, a boatload of laws, and they don't care. I grew up in Lawrence, a tough part of Lawrence. I know a lot of criminals, a lot of people that have done some serious hard time. And 10 years is not a deterrent to them. 10 years in the penitentiary up the street is not a deterrent. And people that are hell-bent on committing a crime, committing a heinous crime, like attacking a school, they don't care. Representative Green over there said the only thing that's going to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun, and I believe that. Another thing that's been left out is back in 2012, the United States Supreme Court ruled that the local police or all law enforcement have no constitutional obligation to protect anybody. Their job is to investigate crime. Okay, that's exactly what happened down in Parkland, by the way, when that sheriff stood out in the street and let that shooting happen. Okay, there were 3 of them, yes. Okay, they had no constitutional obligation. We've heard testimony about people saying, the local law enforcement wants this and they want that. They don't have to do anything. We can sit here and make all the common sense gun laws we want, and the bottom line is none of it makes any sense. The heinous crimes like this don't make sense. Protecting kids from heinous crimes like this is going to take a good guy with a gun, whether it's a school janitor, a teacher, the principal, a school resource officer that has the testicular fortitude to stand there and fight. That's what it's going to take to protect kids. And on the other hand, less than a month ago, the Department of Justice declared New Hampshire was the safest place in the United States. We have one half of gun death per 100,000, and that's the safest in the country. We're messing with something that's working real well. Why are we going to try to fix something that isn't broken? Why are we going to try to fix something that's almost perfection? I'd like to see you find this inexpedient to legislate. Society has a lot of problems. I think we ought to address the underlying causes to these heinous crimes first. We have the breakdown of the family, the psych drugs, a myriad of things that we can be addressing, rather than thinking this is going to do anything. Criminals don't care. Thanks.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you. I do have one. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This Dr. Leonard Korn, he was a past president of the New Hampshire Medical Society. He writes in here that this post found that 143 children, educators, and others were killed, and 290 were injured in the last 20 years since Columbine. What would your feeling be on how those incidents wouldn't have happened?
Society's safer when criminals don't know who has a gun. Is the bottom line. Let's start addressing the societal woes. Like I said, the breakdown of the family, the psych drugs, a whole bunch of different things. Most of those psych drugs have a 3% incidence of homicide and suicidal tendencies. Okay, let's address it.
Thank you, Representative. We're trying to get to your fellow representatives. So Representative Dyer, Representative Oregon, and also Representative
Croc TV.